Retirement planning fear-mongering at the University of Texas School of Business. I guess it's called the McCombs. Let's see, the McCombs School of Business at University of Texas, and we're going to share this with you because it so infuriates me. And it's not just these guys; it's all across the board. This is what's nuts to me. You're paying these guys big money to give us their academic expertise, and yet it's all fake. It's all fake, or it's ignorant. I don't know what it is. So I don't even know what it is, but it's insanity. So let's go over this. Just drives me crazy. Some guy in his pajamas. I'm not actually in my pajamas. I have showered today, but some dude freaking in his t-shirt in his office here in my, with my little puppy dog behind me, who I just took for a long walk to go poop. I can figure this out, and you guys can't with all the money you got at the University of Texas. Let's dive into this. So this is a guy named Professor Michael Granoff or someone Granoff. I don't know who. He's got 64,000 views. It's from 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago. It doesn't matter. Living Rich, Retiring Poor with Professor Michael Granoff. And I hope you can hear this. I'm going to play this for just a second. All right.
The median balances in the plan. So let's look at extremely wealthy salaried employees.
All right, so we can see Soy's EBRI, Employee Benefit Research Institute, December 2011. Median account balances among long-tenured participants by age and salary and 401k. We're going to dive into this a little bit more. And again, I just find this to be we have to do something about education. This is a kind of stuff that is being seen as quality education for the amount of money we're spending. This is nuts. This is like client science, man. There's no other way around it. It's completely nuts. And it needs to be addressed because this is bad. This is bad. People are, look at these comments. And I'm going to share with you here in just a second. The comments. And here I say, I got one in there because it just ticks me off. There's no such thing as, let's see, painful to listen to because he's listening to bad numbers. The audience is full of, the guys and professors, okay, completely skip this. I can see a problem strategy. Most of us live hand to mouth, not richly. Let's see, I find out, okay, if you're born into a certain generation, congratulations, you've won the pension lottery. Everyone else keeps scratching. Simple as that. That's why we need universal health care. It seems the USA is 20 to 25 years behind the rest of the developed world. The whole thing is just nuts, man. So, because he's wrong. He's unequivocally wrong. So listen to what he's saying. Listen to the insinuation on this as we keep going. I'm gonna kill it right out of the gate because it's wrong. And I'll share some other thoughts on this too.
Those who earn over $100,000. As I said, $100,000. That's the upper crust of workers in America by any statistical measures. The median balance among those who are in their 60s, just about at retirement age, is about $300,000. $300,000 does not go very far. If somebody 65 is going to have to count on this, perhaps another 30 years, a $300,000 invested at 6% will provide an annuity for 30 years of $21,800. Nowhere near the $100,000 that they're used to earning, and even coupled with Social Security is not going to allow them to live the lifestyle that they've become accustomed to or that they probably expect. But let's go down. That's 100,000. Let's look at the median income in this country is about 50,000. So let's go over here. Now, those who are approaching retirement have 85,000. What does 85,000 get for you? That gives you a little over $6,000 per year. $500 per month. That's not a great retirement.
All right. So he's using that based on the EBRI study that they did in 2000. I can't make this bigger. All right. So I don't know. For some reason, not letting me make it bigger. All right. All right, so he's insinuating, actually stating explicitly, the average guy who makes $100,000 or more has $300,000 in his 401k. The average person of the median household has what, 85,000, or the median, I should say, median has 85,000 in his 401k. And he's using that from the EBRI, Employee Benefit Research Institute. But let's go to the actual EBRI study, shall we? And see what it says. All right, so here's a study from the EBRI, December 2011, which is what he cited. The 401k plan asset allocation, account balances, and loan activity in 2010. Jack Vanderhey, I'm very familiar with, not familiar with these other guys. Investment Company Institute, I bet ICI is Investment Company Institute, which manages the 401, which looks at all mutual funds assets out there. Investment Company Institute. Anyway, but EBRI, the head author of this is Jack Vanderhey, or Hay, whatever. All right, so let's look at what the actual thing says, shall we? Let's see. All right, so we're going to go to size of 401k account balances, page 10. I wonder if all professor looked at that. All right, so let's see. ICI, I bet it's the Investment Company Institute. All right, so that's kind of like the lobbying group for the mutual fund industry. So you always got to, anyway, I'll let you figure that one out. All right, so shall we go down to what the EBRI says? If we go to right here, I want to go down to right relationship. There's a hold on just a second. Right down. All right, let me pause it. Hold on a sec. Page 10 of the document. Definition of 401k account balance. All right. So if we go down. Let's see. In addition, all right, cross-section. Okay, so, however, the cross-sectional analysis is not well suited to addressing the question of the impact of participation in 401k plans over time. Cross-sections change in composition over time because the selection of data providers and sample of plans using a given provider vary from year to year, and because of 401k participants join or leave plans. In addition, the database contains only the account balances held in the 401k plans at participants' current employers. Retirement savings held in plan at previous employers or rolled into IRAs are not included in the analysis. Furthermore, account balances are net of unpaid loan balances. Because of all these factors, it is not correct to presume that the change in the average or median account balance for the database as a whole reflects the experience of the typical 401k plan participants. So let's just say I went back to work at, I don't know, USAA. All right, so I was at USAA. It literally doesn't matter. I went from freaking ABC Corporation to USAA. I rolled my money. I had $400,000 at ABC Corporation. I rolled it to an IRA, and I started from from USAA with nothing. All right. That $400,000 I rolled, I either kept in my previous plan or I rolled to my IRA is not included in the good professor's analysis or through the EBRI because it says the database contains only the balances held in the 401k plans at the participants' current employers. Retirement savings held in plans at previous employers or rolled into individual retirement accounts are not included. Furthermore, account balances are net of unpaid loans. Because of all these factors, it is not correct to presume that the change in the average or median account balance of the database as a whole reflects the experience of the typical 401k plan participants. But yet, that's not what the professor said. I wish I could make this bigger, buddy. I can't, I don't know why. The professor was implying, if I do like that. Still not making it bigger. Weird. All right. The professor was implying that the average guy who had, let's go back to what he's saying here. All right, let's go back here. All right, right here. The professor is implying that the average person with a median income was in the 60s could get an annuity of $6,000 a year off the $85,000. He says that's not going to go very far in retirement. That's nothing, literally has nothing to do with the average or typical 401k plan participant, according to EBRI, the very same study this guy's using. It's freaking nuts. What is, I don't understand. And look, he's got 56 likes on Facebook, 11 mentions, 2.6 million people have viewed this. And I'm just sitting there thinking, it's wrong. Another thing, and I'll show you my link too, he says, he's using the, Let's see what I said here. Let's see. There's no difference between someone who's, so basically he's using the whole population group of people over 65 and saying what their income is and what their Social Security benefit is. And he's saying, so someone has 65 today and someone who's 85 today are the same according to this guy, to show how bad it is. And I say, let's see, someone who's 65 today is literally a 25% behind someone who's 85 today. All right. So, I mean, literally, if you're 60 today, 65, someone's 85, you're 20 years behind that. That means, well, that's almost a third of your whole life, essentially, if you're 65. That's a quarter of the whole life of someone who's 85. There's a huge discrepancy. It's 2 generations, or I guess as a full, I don't know, was a generation 14 years? That's almost 2 generations between the two. So to throw all these people in, someone who's over 65 as one monotonous group, or monogamous, whatever it is, just one group, freaking stupid. Why are we doing this? Why won't you read? Why don't you read the thing? And these are the professors. And yet we're supposed to sit there and say, oh, they're professors. They know everything about everything. And I would even challenge, I'm going to go to do a different video because we're going to see what the IRS data, is that the IRS data? Yeah, that's expenditures though. Anyway, so that's the IRS data right there of expenditures, which is pretty cool. Or BLS data of expenditures. I haven't talked about that yet. But anyway, all right, so I'm done with this. I'm going to go look at the IRS database and show you, and we'll do it in a different video, how many people are out there and what the average account balance is. I think we can get that off the database. We'll see. Because IRS, they show you on 1099s. They got all the info, 5498s. The IRS database has it all. Now, it's going to be misleading because you say there's $1 billion trillion in 401k assets and you have this many people as over 65 or this many people over 75. That's an average. It's misleading, but it gives you the whole kit and caboodle, unlike this, which is just fake news. All right, we'll see you.